Hey everybody, this is Northwest Cavalryman, and today we're going to be field stripping and cleaning a VZ58. Now the VZ58 has a cousin in Canada, and CZ, I think it's 858. I'm not sure about the actual numbers, but that is soon to become prohibited under the new laws in Canada, and who knows, maybe this gun will follow. But right now this is a non-restricted firearm. This is a VZ58 Sporter, and we're going to be breaking it down and cleaning it today. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that it is unloaded, and once we've done that, we want to bring the bolt forward. So you close the bolt, and we're going to need to pull the trigger. Okay, now that the trigger is pulled, we're going to pop the retaining pin in the back and pull forward, and then pull back the dust cover, which contains the two return springs. Now we're going to move the bolt carrier back and lift it up. Now flip it over and you'll see the bolt inside. So the bolt inside, we have this kind of a striker pin. It's not what you would normally see in like a Glock or anything, but you pull it back, twist it to the side a little bit, and pull it out. Now your bolt can come out, flip it around, and on the bottom you have a bolt retaining lug. Take that off. Next thing you want to do is to remove the piston. So you take the retaining pin out, lift off the dust cover, and just put that aside. Now you take the piston out, pull it backwards, and then bring it out the front, and now you can take the spring out, and now you have a fully field stripped VZ58. As you can see, it's quite easy to do. So the next thing you want to do is you want to spray everything down with G96 or an equivalent kind of a cleaning lubricant protectant, CLP. Like to spray it down quite a bit, get it all down into the barrel and down throughout the action, and then on the individual parts. I use quite a bit of this, probably use more than I need to, but I like to spray it all down and leave it for a few minutes, and that way all the parts get the benefit of the cleaning agent. This part's not particularly dirty, so I'm not going to touch that. And that's not overly dirty either. And notice I've not sprayed down the piston. I'm going to put some other stuff on that in a little bit. So right now I'm going to be using a bore snake to clean out the bore. This is a 30 caliber bore snake because this is a 30 caliber rifle. The 7.62 is 30 caliber. So I'm just going to drop the end of the weighted string down into the bore through the chamber and pull it through. These bore snakes, they have some bristles on them, and they're designed to take a lot of the dirt and crud inside the barrel out with it as it gets pulled through. Now I find that they're good, but they're not perfect. So after I pull that through a number of times, I'm going to run I'm going to put actually some different stuff in. I'm going to use this foaming bore cleaner by Hops and squeeze that down into the bore, to the chamber, let it run down, I know some people let, once they've done this, they let it sit like overnight. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some of this foaming bore cleaner on my piston as well. I'm going to keep putting a bit more of that in, letting it kind of soak down into the bore. And now I'm just going to spray a little bit in the action. Just give it a little bit more cleaning agents in there. I'm going to take a wire brush and clean off the piston. Now I'm going to start wiping everything down, getting all of the G96 and all of the dirt that's been loosened up off of the action and all of the individual parts. Now I'm going to run the bore snake through a couple more times. And right now, I've just to see how clean it is, and maybe to get it a little cleaner, I'm going to run a patch through the traditional way. So a white patch. This one's a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut it in half. Now it's coming out a little dirty still, so I'm going to use a bit more G96, spray it down the bore, and then I'm going to use a traditional wire brush. I'm going to run that through a few times. And now I'm going to start just cleaning all of the the action out and whatnot. Spray a bit more G96. And a little bit more down the bore, or actually right in the chamber, and then down the bore. I'm going to take a wire brush, and actually this is a nylon brush, and work inside the action a little bit. Get it nice and clean. I'm just going to wipe it down with some patches. And I'm going to put a little bit of oil inside here just to lubricate it just a bit. Now I cut the part where I cleaned the barrel again. I ran some more patches down through the barrel. So you didn't see that, but I did clean it out after I put the other G96 in there. And now I'm going to be starting to reassemble. So I put the piston in. I can do that first and then put the cover on. The dust cover. Next thing you want to do is wipe down the bolt carrier because it's still a little bit greasy with all of the G96. Now you want to put the bolt inside. Now you're going to lube a little bit inside here, not too much. And you want to make sure that the bolt locking lug is you flip it over, put it in upside down when it's when the bolt carrier is on the table like that. So basically it's on top when the bolt carrier is turned around. So now you put this striker pin in the back. And make sure everything is fitting well. And then you just drop it into the action. Line it up with some little notches in the back and then slide it forward. Now you're going to have to pull the trigger at this point. And now you're going to put the return springs, recoil springs in. Now the bottom recoil spring, you can't really see it here, but it goes inside the a little cavity in the striker pin in the back, and then the top one goes in the big hole right in the middle. And this slides on, and sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling to get it in place. And as soon as it's in place, you can slide the retaining bolt and then function check it. You're going to want to dry fire it a few times and work the action a few times. This also distributes the gun oil a little bit. Once you've done that, what you're going to want to do is wipe down the outside with a rag with some alcohol on it, and that will clean off any of the excess oils and G96, so it's not as greasy. And that's pretty much it. You've got a fully reassembled and cleaned VZ58. These are really fun guns. They're chambered in 7.62 by 39. And now they are magazine fed. In Canada, we can only have 5 rounds in these firearms in the magazine. But despite that, they are still quite fun to shoot and to use. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Thank you very much.